Quick hits, part of the show where I take a look at three things that have been in the news that have caught my attention, and I'm sure some of these have caught your attention as well. U.S. designs for Venezuelan oil industry put pressure on Canadian oil stocks. As we know, the United States went into Venezuela this past weekend, I think it was, removed their leader, and is now somewhat running the country and looking to increase the production of oil. We know that Venezuela has the heavy crude, very similar to the oil we produce here in the oil sands out west. And so many people fear that with the increase in oil production out of Venezuela to the US, this will affect Canada. We'll go into that. We have a few great charts for that. 2026 Consumer Electronics Show underway in Las Vegas, as we've talked about already. Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia, Lisa Su, CEO of AMD, talking about new chips, faster chips, more powerful chips, doing things 10 times, 4 times, 5 times faster than the chips that are in existence right now. And last, AMD's Lisa Su talking about jobs and replacing people. Someone recently asked her, are you replacing people? She said, no, we're actually growing jobs or increasing headcount. So we'll get into her, what she said, her quote, shortly. So let's move to the first one, Venezuela, oil production in Venezuela. Let's look at our first chart here. It's crude oil production in Venezuela, and you can see here by the chart, crude oil production began to decline sharply in 2014. The leader of Venezuela, Maduro, obviously controlling as best as he could the country, the people, oil production. He was more a seller of, unfortunately, of narcotics, drugs, and ammunition and guns than he should have been. Obviously, focusing on more oil production. We believe that Venezuela has the largest oil reserves of any country in the world. That it was amazing for me to hear. It's getting it out of the ground and getting the companies in there to pull it out of the ground, like the Chevrons or the Exxons or whoever else. That is the struggle. Will these businesses or companies want to go there and help production? Well, I've heard recently that they're already on the ground in Venezuela since the United States removed the Venezuelan leader. So we're seeing there a little bit of an uptick. We know that one of the major importers of Venezuelan oil are the Chinese. We'll see if the U.S. taking over, removing the leader of Venezuela will have any implications for U.S.-China relationship. Another chart we have for this segment is the destination breakdown of Canadian crude oil exports. And you can see there, is there any doubt that we send most of our oil to the United States? 96%. We send a little bit to Europe. We send a little bit to Asia, United Kingdom. But most of our oil goes to the United States. This is why when the U.S. said that they're going to increase oil production out of Venezuela into the U.S., I think last I checked, 30 to 50 million barrels a day going into, sorry, not a day, but produce 30 to 50 million barrels going into the United States, at least to start. Could that be I guess, replace a lot of the oil that we send to the United States? That is the question. And obviously the markets did not like that. And on the, I guess, Monday, the oil stocks in Canada really pulled back. Our last chart for this segment is Canadian crude oil exports to the United States. There you have it. Look how much it has increased. And as I said, the last chart clearly shows most of the oil that we export goes to the U.S. And if another country starts muscling in on our exports, on our territory there, the United States, and if the U.S. starts to look to Venezuela versus Canada, what will that mean for our oil companies? What will that mean for our economy? And that's why you're hearing Prime Minister Carney really talk about expanding and sending oil to other countries around the world. And we're hearing more and more about, building the pipelines that we need to get oil to port, get it out of Alberta and all the other provinces that pull oil or mine for oil, pull it out of the ground. We're trying to get it to port so we can send it to other parts of the world. Extremely important. Our next quick hit, Consumer Electronics Show underway in Las Vegas, and a lot of announcements coming out. This is a fantastic show. They actually have in the show their own area for robots, funny enough. They never had this before, but they have so many robots walking around at the show that they actually have to have an area cordoned off for robots themselves. We have a chart here on some of the announcements. Nvidia's Jensen Huang launches Vera Rubin. Vera Rubin, I believe, was an astronaut. He named their latest chips after this person. Nvidia's push into autonomous driving, we've heard about recently. Boston Dynamics humanoid robot gets a boost from Google's Gemini. Uber gives the world a first look at its robotaxi, and AMD's Lisa Su shows off her higher performing chips as well. So CES is usually a great show to showcase the latest and greatest in technology, and it definitely usually has a positive effect on the markets. Our last quick hit that I saw in the news recently is a quote by Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD, talking about jobs. Because somebody said, since you create the chips for AI, what does hiring at your company look like? And what she said was, I would say that we're actually not hiring fewer people. That's what she told CNBC on Tuesday from the CES conference in Las Vegas. Frankly, we're growing very significantly as a company. So we actually are hiring lots of people, but we're hiring different people. We are hiring people who are AI forward. So as many people are saying, it's not that we're going to lose jobs. The jobs of tomorrow will just look a lot different. So we'll have to see if that is true. Many people are very concerned that AI is taking away jobs. We've heard this many times in the past in history, but it always ended up creating jobs. The new technology ended up creating jobs. So hopefully this will be the same this time as the world continues to focus on AI and its effects on the economy.